What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including former WWE stars AEW-BOUND. A WWE star is clearly frustrated. Are WWE wrestlers fighting back TKO? Randy Orton exposes a scammer. The new WYATT 6 names revealed. A legend buries the John Cena Classic. Is Wrestlemania in the UK never happening? And much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now first story looks at former WWE stars AEW-BOUND. Our top story today looks at the status of the New Day, as it appears all but confirmed that the talented duo are now AEW-BOUND. According to Fightful Select, AEW is the natural new home for the duo. Kofi Kingston and Austin Creed are headed towards free agency, but it seems as if there's one place that people seem to think they're headed. All Elite Wrestling is the naturally speculated landing point for the duo, who've already been announced for GalaxyCon this month. However, within AEW, it is unanimous among the more than 12 sources we spoke to, wanting Kofi and Austin Creed in the company. And the report adds that every single person within AEW is on board with the move, which is rare as there's usually one AEW name that is against a new addition coming into the company. Under most circumstances, there will at least be one person we hear from that will dissent for whatever reason. However, in the first couple of weeks since their departure, everyone we spoke to was on board. In addition, we're told a number of big names in AEW were making an internal push for the duo to end up there. Despite only having worked in WWE, Kofi and Austin Creed have been universally respected across stars from each promotion we've spoken to, but everyone expects AEW as a landing point. The New Day signing with AEW is going to be a massive deal, and this of course opens the door for the duo to have dream matches against the likes of Edge and Christian and the Young Bucks. For now, Kingston and Woods appear to be the only WWE names of the recent releases headed to AEW. All the others have been rumored over the past 2 weeks, but there are no credible reports indicating that AEW is planning to make any additional signings. Next up, a WWE star is clearly frustrated. Rey Fenix's WWE run has been a mixed bag to say the very least. His strong initial presentation quickly soured, and Fenix has barely won any matches since signing with WWE last year. A tag title run alongside Andrade was planned, however this was scrapped when Andrade left the company. Taken to X last night, Fenix expressed his frustration by stating that he wants a chance to challenge his brother Penta for the Intercontinental title. "I love my brother, but I will like to have my chance." Now it seems odd that Rey Fenix's booking has been so subpar, especially compared to his brother. The most notable thing that Rey Fenix has done is be in attendance for Gingerbread Man's funeral. Hopefully WWE works this into an angle, and the two brothers feuding over the IC Championship could be the perfect feud for the summer months. Next up, WWE wrestlers fighting back at TKO. Kevin Nash is calling for WWE talent to now unionize after reports emerged that some wrestlers were asked to accept major pay cuts under the TKO group. Speaking on his Click This podcast, Nash criticized the company for allegedly cutting wrestlers' salaries while executives received huge compensation increases. "You can't have it both ways. You can't play Endeavor at the top with the 300% increases and 1099 the dog workers. If they're going to play by those rules, let the boys play by the same rules. Go through the Screen Actors Guild. They'll be more than happily to take their cut of your money. It won't be 50%, but it'll change the ball game. Take one of the programs that's written down and you tell me that your program isn't more heavily written and more produced than Curb Your Enthusiasm was when all those actors got SAG paid." Wrestlers have tried to unionize in the past and it failed miserably. However, is this a straw that breaks the camel's back and wrestlers now revolt against the company? But if wrestlers want this to work in the current day, then it has to be headed by big stars. Stars like Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. However, it's believed that they haven't been affected by the pay cuts, and probably don't want to rock the boat at their position. Next up, a wrestler sentenced to 13 years. Mexican wrestler Rogelio Reyes, better known as Cutrero, has been sentenced to several years in prison following a domestic violence case involving WWE star Stephanie Vaquer. The legal process began after Vaquer accused him of physically assaulting and attempted to strangle her during an incident in Mexico in 2023. Authorities then arrested him shortly afterward, and the case remained active in the Mexican court for more than a year while evidence and testimony was being reviewed. The court ultimately found him guilty, resulting in a prison sentence reportedly lasting 13 years. The ruling was actually described as a significant moment because domestic violence cases involving public figures in pro wrestling rarely lead to any such high-profile convictions in Mexico. Next up is Liv Morgan leaving WWE for Hollywood. Since her popularity in WWE has skyrocketed, world champion Liv Morgan has been given a number of opportunities in Hollywood, and now Morgan has addressed the rumors that she may leave WWE behind in favor of a full-time career in Hollywood. Speaking to Geno TV this week, she stated that she'll be wrestling until the wheels fall off, and she's a lifer in the pro wrestling world. I mean, I'm wrestling until the wheels fall off, for how long that takes me, but I'm a lifer. But yes, I'm very interested in acting, and WWE has been so gracious in kinda letting me explore that and spread my wings a little bit. We have a movie coming out this fall, Bad Lieutenant, so keep an eye out for it. But thank you so much for saying that. We'll see what happens, I guess. Now, it's entirely possible for Morgan to do both simultaneously, as we've seen this with numerous wrestlers over the years. Her fans have been extremely critical of Morgan's booking since winning the world title at Wrestlemania. She's been a complete afterthought on Raw, and it's almost as if WWE has no idea what to do with her. The feud between Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer was initially planned to continue, but that's been scrapped due to Vaquer's unfortunate injury. Next up, Randy Orton exposes a scammer. Selling off wrestlers' legitimate merchandise can be very lucrative. Most recently, Hulk Hogan's boots from the inaugural WrestleMania sold for over $1 million at a heritage auction. And this guy also thought that he had some legendary memorabilia to sell from the Viper himself, pricing Randy Orton's SummerSlam 2004 trunks at $50,000. Now in the auction, the seller does point out that the trunks are used and that these are Randy Orton's legitimate tights he wore in the match at SummerSlam. And they've also been signed by the Legend Killer himself. However, Randy Orton was quick to shut that down, as on X he said, "I still have those trunks. I believe I signed that pair for a fan at an autograph signing who had them made. The originals are in storage." That $50,000 offer probably gone down to about $500 now. Scammers like this should be taken off the platform straight away. It's legitimate fraud. Next up, speaking of fraud, will WWE lower ticket prices? WWE and their ticket prices have been a contested topic throughout 2026, with WWE even incorporating the discourse into a main event storyline for WrestleMania this year. Now, according to WWE legend Kevin Nash, due to WWE paying talent less with the contracted restructuring arrangement, this should automatically mean that ticket prices go down. Speaking on this podcast this week, Nash stated,
the cost of the building's not going to go up.
Right.
If you're paying the talent less, you've got a 50% saving there. I could only think that at that point, the ticket prices should go down. And if they can't work it out financially, maybe some of the higher ups could kick a little of their golden parachute back in, help out the working man a little bit, because we all know how that always happens in America. Yeah, it's always about Main Street, not Wall Street. So I mean, yeah, I could see probably a 50% with a 50%. It would only make sense, right? 50% pay cut to the guy. Tickets are 50% off.
TKO without a doubt have no intention of doing this. In fact, it's more likely they'll increase ticket prices for future shows such as SummerSlam and WrestleMania, especially if they get Brock Lesnar back in the WWE for a last match at SummerSlam and position it as his retirement match. They know that they're going to sell out. Next up, the new WYATT 6 names revealed. Due to trademarks, the recently released WYATT 6 will be unable to use their WWE names for bookings outside the company. We now know what their names are going to be thanks to their scheduled appearance at WrestleCon during SummerSlam weekend. Bo Dallas will be Taylor Rotunda, Nikki Cross will be Nikki Storm, Dexter Lumis will be Samuel Shaw, Eric Rowan will be Eric Redbeard, and Joe Gacy is Joseph Sawyer. It's been reported that the group is expected to stay together in some capacity, with them potentially working independent shows and even TNA as a complete faction. Next up, Randy Orton's return revealed. Randy Orton has been out of action since WrestleMania 42. Now it's been reported that Orton was banged up heading into his match, and this could have contributed to WWE deciding to keep the title on Cody Rhodes. With that being said, it's looking like Orton has received medical clearance. According to WWE, Orton will appear on the May 29th SmackDown Live from Barcelona. Now the card is subject to change, however WWE only released the list of names advertised today, so it's looking likely that Orton will indeed be on the show in some capacity. It's unknown what WWE has planned for Orton when he returns. Logic suggests that he reignites his feud with Rhodes, especially due to Orton punting Rhodes in the head after their match at WrestleMania, giving him a legitimate injury. However, Rhodes is now firmly locked into a feud with the ring general Gunther, and with them set to face for the WWE title at Clash in Italy, Orton may need to feud with someone else for the time being. Next up, the face of WWE revealed. Netflix is delivering a huge marketing campaign across the entirety of the UK right now. Naturally, due to WWE featuring all their content on Netflix in the UK, WWE is involved in the marketing, and they've decided to use just one WWE talent for the promotional push. The name featured is WWE Women's Champion Rhea Ripley, and Ripley is featured in the billboards and posters alongside elite names such as football icon Ronaldinho. Now, whilst you could argue that CM Punk, Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes would have been a better fit, there's no denying the star power of Ripley herself. Next up, a legend buries the John Cena Classic. John Cena revealed the John Cena Classic at Backlash this past weekend, and whilst the concept is exciting on paper, a lot of fans are questioning the voting element of the concept. Cena revealed that fans will vote for the winner, and it doesn't matter if the winner has lost every single match in the Classic. Fans aren't the only one to question this, as wrestling legend Jeff Jarrett discussed it on his podcast, and he stated that whilst he gets it from a business point of view, he questions the purpose of the tournament if wins and losses are pointless.
And I get it. From a business perspective, it's the funnel to get people engaged. And there's going to be an X poll. There's going to be a TikTok poll. There's going to be every social media platform. But in the storytelling component of, yeah, you can become champion and you don't have to win your matches. And yes, the business, and that's why we may be all kind of overthinking this. And it is what it is, because the whole world knows we're scripted entertainment, but we at least want to get lost in the story and go for the title.
Jarrett would add that when the event comes around, fans aren't going to get immersed in the story, as there's no point investing in anything that's occurring.
It takes that component out, the suspension of disbelief on what matters in our world as we're watching this 2-hour episode or 3-hour episode or 3-hour premium live event. When we got to get immersed in the story, why do we care when a hip toss happens or a false finish happens or a spectacular move off the top?
It's hard to disagree with him here, and hopefully WWE makes a few tweaks to the idea, as reportedly it is still a work in progress. The fact that Cena himself has admitted that the concept may flop isn't encouraging, and the idea of the Classic seems completely improvised. It's already been theorized by some fans that WWE is going to restrict the voting to just Club WWE members, and knowing what we know about TKO, we really can't rule this out. Next up, a WWE theme recycled. NXT's Mason Rook debuted his theme song last night on NXT, and fans noticed the theme sounded very familiar. Well, it turns out that Rook's theme is the same theme used for Mason Ryan in WWE 12. There's no news on why they made this call, but it seems to fit Rook's persona. Well, maybe they just thought they were both Masons. And finally, WrestleMania in the UK never happening. Our final story today looks at the ongoing status of WrestleMania in the UK, and unfortunately, it's not looking positive. WrestleMania in the UK has been rumoured for years now, with John Cena even actively pushing for it at Money in the Bank in 2023. The latest update when it comes to this possibility comes from the Mayor of London, and in a statement provided to Post Wrestling it stated, "There are general discussions with WWE, but at present no specific discussions around bringing the 2028 WrestleMania to London." Tom Deegan of the Economic Desk with the Mayor of London's press office wrote to Post Wrestling by email. While WrestleMania in 2028 isn't being discussed, Deegan told us earlier that Mayor Sadiq Khan is determined to bring even more sports from around the world to London, including the biggest WWE event, and continues to discuss future opportunities. Now, this is very disappointing, especially for those fans in the UK. WWE definitely managed to get the hopes up of fans in the UK, and all signs pointed towards WrestleMania 2028 taking place in Nashville. However, all hope isn't lost for fans in Europe, as there are substantial reports that Ireland could be making a bid for a future Mania. However, it's unclear which future WrestleMania event that could be. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumours you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.